Maya, turn the TV down a little bit, please. TV. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday. The remote right there. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy terrific Tuesday. As y'all come on in, speak to you, girl. Let me know how y'all Tuesday has been so far. Also, let me know what city, what state that you are chiming in from. Let me know what city, what state that you are chiming in from. Don't be afraid. Come on in and speak to you, girl. Welcome to another daily devotion. For those of you joining me for the first time, my name is Sally Isaac. I'm a wife. We have a blended family of 5 children, 2 20-year-olds, 17-year-old, 18. 2 20-year-old, 18-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And one of our 20-year-olds is an angel. We lost him 2 years ago. And because of that, I have been ushered into my purpose of showing people how to grieve gracefully. And I have a ministry called Grieving Gracefully. And a part of that ministry, I do a daily devotion Monday through Friday at 6:30 p.m. where I go live on TikTok and Facebook. And we do a daily devotion for about 20 to 30 minutes. Sometimes it might be an hour. It just depends on how the Lord lead us. But we're going to go ahead and get started. Today's topic is called Keep Trusting God. And it's coming from Job 13, chapter 15th verse. Though he y'all I paused because I don't read these beforehand. I don't read it. I don't pick this book up until I sit down and go live with y'all. And I just realized that this is the scripture that I took on after I lost my son. Job 13 and 15. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Even though I lost my son, I still trust God. And I had no idea that was the scripture for today. But we're going to keep going. The story of Job reads like this. Chapter 1. He is one of the wealthiest men in his generation. Chapter 2. He loses everything, including his health, his wealth, and his children. Chapter 42. He's back on top again. Wouldn't you like to know what happened from chapters 3 through 41? If so, you should read the book of Job and find out how he had it all, lost it all, and got it all back, and ended up with twice as much as he lost. Did Job have unanswered questions? Lots of them. Did he experience grief? Yes, to a depth that is hard to imagine. But Job never changed his mind about God, and God never changed his about Job. The scripture best summarizes Job's attitude. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. If you're stuck at a place you don't understand right now, don't give up on God or yourself. When you don't understand your circumstances, it feels like there's more than you can bear. Stand on this great Bible promise. You will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. Trust in the Lord forever, for in the Lord is everlasting strength. Isaiah 26, chapter 3rd through the 4th verse. Trusting God does not mean He will answer all your questions, but that he will give you perfect peace, regardless of the circumstances. Trusting God does not mean that you won't struggle, but that he will give you everlasting strength. So the word for you today is keep trusting God, and he will bring you through this. Y'all, I feel like this is my life. Because I tell y'all, like, I just started reading the Bible for real. I ain't put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I just started reading the Bible for real. Like, after I lost my son is when I really, like, really said I was going to start. I was going to stop just listening to the pastor on Sundays, and I was going to take it serious, and I was going to start reading the Bible. So when I got to the book of Job, I was like, that's me. Like, I took on that. Thank you for the follow. I will follow you back once I get off live. Like, I felt that. I felt like, though I lost my son, my oldest child, the first child that I birthed at 21, I still trust God. And it says, though we struggle, God will give you everlasting strength. And that's what he did. God gave me strength immediately after I lost my son. Immediately. My son unalived himself at home, and I was home with him. Hey Mia, how you doing? I was home with him when it happened. My son was out in the street. He was 18. He had literally just turned 18 a week before this happened. Like, exactly 1 week after he turned 18, he took his life. So, like, I knew he was sneaking out of the house, but I didn't know what he was doing when he snuck out of the house. I'm thinking he's just going to basketball games. I'm just thinking, like, he just going to hang with his friends. Never in my life would I imagine what he was out there doing for real. Did we condone him sneaking out of the house? No. I used to lay hands. I don't even know if I can say that on TikTok, but I'm just being honest. As soon as he come through the door, I'm laying hands. Because who told you to sneak out the house? Okay? I don't want people to think that we condone this behavior. But the day he decided to take his life, the police was actually at our door, coming to get him for what he did in the street. And I had no idea what he was doing in the street. Because before I could ask the officer what happened, I saw my son out my peripheral. He was washing dishes in the kitchen, and I answered the door. And before I could even ask the officer, like, and why y'all at my house? And they said his name. It was like, we're here for Jaden Hale. Hey, Christina, how you doing? And I saw my son walk from the kitchen to his room out my peripheral while I'm talking to the officer at the door. And next thing I know, I hear an officer in front of me said, was that a pew pew? I look at them like, pew pew? Not in my house. I mean, outside of what me and my husband got, but we're registered to carry. So I'm like, what? So I immediately took off to my son's room. And when I got to his room, he was already gone. I looked at him. I never went in his room. Trying to hold back the emotions. I never went in his room. I just stood like in our den, because his room is right beside the den. And I stood at the den, and I stood at his doorway, and his eyes were still open, and he was looking at me. But I knew when I looked at him. Thank you, Alicia. I knew when I looked at him that he was already gone. Then they rushed in the house. Get out, get out, get out. Shots fired, get out the house. And can you imagine? I was home by myself. Well, me and the kids. My husband wasn't home at the time. I got the two little ones at home with me. I think the baby was 2, and our daughter was 5 at the time this happened. And they're home. And I'm having to do one of the hardest things of my life, which is notify my family of what just happened. Now, I told y'all in the beginning when I first got on that we are a blended family. So my husband is not his dad. So I had to call my husband and tell him to come home right now. I had to call his dad, who lived up the street from us, and tell him to come to the house. That's where I tell y'all that's where the strength came in at. It says, trusting in God doesn't mean that you won't struggle, but He will give you everlasting strength. And in that moment, God gave me strength. He gave me strength, and I didn't even realize He gave me the strength. Y'all, I didn't even realize He gave me strength. I didn't realize until my family came to see about us, and I wasn't breaking down. I wasn't falling apart. I wasn't boohoo crying. Like, the same way I'm talking to y'all now is the same way I was talking the day it happened. That's the strength. But I didn't. Oh, I got on one earring. I didn't even realize that I had strength. I'm thinking that I'm being normal. I'm thinking this is how people respond to things like this. I didn't know that the way I grieve was different until people started reaching out to me and asking me, how am I able to function? How are you so strong? And I'm like, I'm strong? I don't even know I'm strong. I'm like, if you see strength in me, it's not because of me, it's God. Like, I can't take no credit. I take no credit for this because this is all God. So when I first read Job, that's why I say today's daily devotion, I feel like it's about my life. I wasn't even planning on telling my testimony today. I wasn't even planning on telling it today. It said, keep trusting God. And as a result of losing my child, God pushed me into my purpose, where I'm showing people how to grieve gracefully and letting them know that they can keep trusting God. And today's daily devotion is called Keep Trusting God.